The Kansas City Chiefs just got a massive injury update on a couple different players that could have major implications for this Christmas Day game against the Steelers. You guys are listening to the KC Sports Report. I'm your host, Michael Darcy. I'm a local Kansas City-based content creator who covers this Chiefs team on a daily basis, and the best way you guys can show your support is by hitting the like button on this video and subscribing to this channel for more daily Chiefs coverage. Make that your Christmas present to me and the channel. It's free, it takes less than 10 seconds, and subscribing greatly helps out support all of the work that we do here on the channel. But with all that being said, guys, let's get into the main topic of this video, and that's going over a couple of key injuries. So according to the Chiefs injury report from Monday's practice, Jawaan Taylor was limited in practice, but guys like Chamari Connor, DJ Humphries, and Chris Jones did not practice. Now, I wasn't really surprised that Chris Jones didn't practice, but the update that we got about DJ Humphries last week from Nate Taylor of The Athletic is that DJ Humphries was expected to be the starting left tackle for this team against the Steelers on Christmas, and he did not practice on Monday. And so I think that is highly unlikely at this point that we see DJ Humphries suit up on Christmas. The Chiefs will probably go again with Joe Thuney at left tackle, Mike Caliendo at left guard, and depending on the health status of Jawaan Taylor, we might see Wanya Morris line up at right tackle again, as you know, we saw him replace, Jawaan Taylor on that game on Saturday. But it's very interesting to note that Chris Jones also didn't practice. And I want to read off this tweet from Jesse Morse MD on Twitter. You can find him at Dr. Jesse Morse. He said Chris Jones reportedly suffered a grade 1 calf strain, which we all already knew, but he said, I believe that Jones will likely miss the next 3 to 4 weeks and will return in the first playoff game. Why, you might ask? Calf strains are notorious for re-injury. Zap's explosiveness, re-injury to a grade 1 strain usually leads to a grade 2 strain, which takes about 6 to 8 weeks to return to play. So it seems like the Chiefs are being very careful with this injury. They're not rushing Chris Jones back, which I'm a massive fan of, because while this game is important and the Chiefs can clinch the number 1 seed in the AFC, what is the point of getting that, first round bye if Chris Jones re-aggravates that calf injury and can't play in the playoffs? So yeah, it's going to suck to not have the best defensive tackle in football, but you can go ahead and rest him in this game and find a way to get it done. The Chiefs can find a way to win without Chris Jones, at least in the short term. Now, long term, that's a completely different question, but I'm definitely on the side of resting Chris Jones, not rushing him back while he's dealing with this calf strain. Now, mentioning DJ Humphries, his injury is just so funny, man, because he pulled his hamstring, or he tweaked it in that Sunday Night Football game against the Chargers, and we kind of thought, okay, it's probably not something that's too serious. Maybe he misses a game, but we're coming up on him missing a couple of games, and so I have serious questions on how severe that injury is. Initially, we thought that, okay, maybe it's just a smaller, minor injury, and he could come back on Christmas. That's what all the reports were saying. But it seems like, DJ Humphries suffered a substantial hamstring injury, and the Chiefs are holding him out. And, they can do that because they've had great success on the offensive line with Joe Thuney going over to left tackle. And I actually want to read off this stat from Dane Orlovsky on Twitter. He said the Chiefs may have found their new offensive line. Houston didn't record a sack on 35 dropbacks after the first quarter versus Kansas City. And I think that stat only goes to show you how good Joe Thuney has been at left tackle for this team. Now, is he the long-term solution at left tackle? No. He's the best left guard in football, or at least I would argue that he is, and so you can't have him play that position permanently, but maybe the Chiefs roll with this offensive line going into the playoffs. I would not be surprised whatsoever if the Chiefs don't feel confident in letting DJ Humphries start in a playoff game when he hasn't even played a full regular season game for this Chiefs team. Joe Thuney has played 2 full games as the starting left tackle, which is more than DJ Humphries has done in the past year and a half. And so there's a legit concern with his durability and his health. And I don't know if the Chiefs feel comfortable with putting him at left tackle, knowing he hasn't played a full game as the starting left tackle. He does not have those reps. He hasn't gotten them in practice. He's pretty much been a non-factor. And I saw a comment on the YouTube channel earlier today that outside of that introductory press conference, DJ Humphries' tenure in Kansas City has pretty much been a bust. And you know, it sucks because he's aging and he gets hurt all the time, but you saw Joe Thuney step up for him and look pretty darn good. So I think that Joe Thuney is probably going to be the answer at left tackle going forward, which I don't hate, but the Chiefs are going to have to continue helping him with pass protection because you kind of saw against the Texans, they were chipping with a tight end. They were keeping a running back, you know, to play the second line of defense to help pick up blockers. And I think that is a good thing for this, you know, offensive line, but it seems like they're going to have to be without DJ Humphries at least for the foreseeable future. So that report that we got from Nate Taylor of The Athletic about a week and a half ago, that DJ Humphries would start on Christmas Day, barring any major setbacks, I think we hit that major setback. I don't think that he's going to start on Christmas. Maybe he does, and I'm an idiot, but I just do not think that since he hasn't practiced in 2.5 weeks, that DJ Humphries is going to get the start against Pittsburgh with a defensive line which features TJ Watt. I don't think that's going to happen, and so it seems like it's going to be the Joe Thuney show, which I think that we have to put all of our confidence in Joe Thuney getting the job done. Now, getting back to the other injuries, Chris Jones with the calf strain, I think they're going to be careful with him. I don't expect him to play the rest of the way. I think the Chiefs are going to go out there on Wednesday, get the number 1 seed by beating Pittsburgh, and then everybody's going to rest. Everybody important, whether it's Mahomes or Kelsey or Chris Jones, or you want to go on the defensive side like Trent McDuffie, they are not going to play in Week 18 against the Broncos. That is not going to happen if the Chiefs go out and take care of business by beating the Pittsburgh Steelers on Christmas Day. But Jawaan Taylor, who was limited in practice on Monday, has a pretty good shot of playing in this game. If you practice, you have a chance of playing. And so since he practiced, I have to think that there's a chance that he ends up playing. But Chiefs Kingdom, I want to hear from you guys down in the comments section below. What do you think about this news? Do you think that we see Jawaan Taylor start at right tackle for this Chiefs team on Wednesday? It's tomorrow, guys. I mean, it's a really quick turnaround. It's Christmas Eve right now, and he's got to play in like 24 hours, and that's a lot of pressure. So I'm not sure if we end up seeing him. I definitely don't think that we see DJ Humphries or Chris Jones in this game against the Steelers. I'm going to give Jawaan Taylor a 50-50 shot. Since he was limited, there is a chance that he could play. But depending on how he does in practice and how he's feeling, the Chiefs might elect to play Wanya Morris over Jawaan Taylor on Wednesday. So the Chiefs Kingdom, that is all I have for this video. If you guys enjoyed it, hit the like button and subscribe for more of the best daily Chiefs content on YouTube. Who else is bringing you guys content on Christmas Eve? I'll have stuff coming out on Christmas Day. And the best way you guys can support me is by hitting the like button on this video and subscribing. Make that my Christmas present from the Chiefs Kingdom. Until next time, guys, thank you for watching this video. And as always, go Chiefs.